Volkswagen has asked a court to toss a lawsuit that claims the ID.4's capacitive touch controls are defective, and the case highlights how modern control schemes can become legal flashpoints. The plaintiffs argue that capacitive buttons, which lack tactile feedback, are unsafe or confusing and should be considered a defect. VW's response is to challenge that legal premise and defend both the design choice and its implementation. This dispute is more than a nitpick about interior controls. It probes the tension between minimal, sleek interiors and everyday usability. Capacitive buttons allow automakers to create clean dashboards, but often at the cost of haptic certainty. There's no physical click to confirm an input. For some drivers, that leads to over-reliance on screens, longer glances away from the road, and a less intuitive experience. VW's legal defense leans on engineering and human factors arguments. Capacitive systems are common, accepted in many vehicles, and are accompanied by software and feedback mechanisms intended to reduce distraction. The company is also likely to point to industry standards and extensive testing that underpin the ID.4's development. In essence, VW is arguing that styling choices that meet regulatory and usability standards aren't automatically defects ripe for class actions. The case also raises questions for future design choices. If judges start to rule that certain user interface decisions are inherently unsafe, car makers may revert to more tactile controls to avoid litigation. That would reshape cabin design trends that have favored sleek, touch-centric layouts over the past decade. For consumers, there's something to watch: the balance between modern aesthetics and practical safety. Designers and engineers often try to reconcile both, but legal challenges like this may force more conservative design until regulators and courts clarify where liability lies. At stake is the precedent: whether a lack of physical feedback can be labeled a defect rather than a subjective design preference. VW's push to dismiss the suit is therefore a defense of a broader design philosophy, one that many manufacturers will be following closely.